Hi everybody, how are you all keeping? Good, glad to hear it. The fact that we don't have an internet connection is slightly more worrying in some ways for me, so I'm hoping that it's all going to be okay. Because one of the things that I wanted to do with you this evening was to give you a quick demo of Stripe itself. I guess Stripe is something we've been keeping our eye on for a while. My name is Gerard Keohane. I work with StudioForty9. StudioForty9 is an e-commerce and web development company, which means two things. Firstly, we get a lot of people who want to build extremely weird and wonderful stuff. That's the web development side of it. And then we got a lot of people who want to pay for that or get paid for their weird and wonderful stuff, the e-commerce side of it. And up until a couple of years ago, getting paid was quite difficult. You had a lot of work to do with integrating with payment gateways. Getting paid on a subscription basis was even worse. It was very, very difficult. And then variations of that, like commission-based payments for, let's say you want to charge a fee every time you process payment on behalf of somebody, even worse again. Now, Stripe, I mean, basically the great thing with Stripe is that not even a year ago, this time last year, Stripe wasn't available in Ireland. You know, about 2-3 years ago, Stripe didn't even exist. But in the space of about 2 years, they've completely changed the face of payments globally, and everybody is scrambling to catch up with them. Stripe, they're not the best across the board. You have to take that into consideration because people have been scrambling to catch up with them. They have been trying to figure out what Stripe haven't done yet and where they can fit into the payment scene and all the rest of it. But the thing is that they're absolutely fantastic and they're well worth having a look at. So what I'm going to do is give a quick demo of Stripe. Then I'm going to go through, I suppose, a couple of things, a couple of reasons why I think Stripe is for developers. Just a quick note that I am not a Stripe guru, but we've done a fair amount of, as I say, payment gateway work over the years. So hopefully I'm in a position to talk about it somewhat. I've created a deletable Gmail account, so I'm going to do this from the ground up. This is an account that I've created for StudioForty9. If anybody sends anything to it, it won't be read because it will be deleted probably in about 5 years' time when I remember. So signing up for Stripe, a couple of things. Signing up for Stripe is extremely quick. You can, and I've checked this, I'm done, I'm signed up now, so I can start using Stripe for payments if I wanted to. The next step that I have to do is I need to attach an account to it. This works in Ireland, so if I want to, I can put in my bank account into Stripe in my account settings, and I'll get payments through from whoever's going to pay me from their credit card directly into my bank account. It's completely changed the face of how payments were done for the last couple of years. So here I am. Welcome to Stripe. I'm going to just give you a very, very quick tour of the account settings. I suppose some interesting things, you can add team members, so you can have a couple of people working on the same account if you need to. You have your API keys, I'm going to skip that. Subscriptions, an interesting one here. If subscriptions fail for whatever reason, you can set it up to try up to 3 more times and then what to do after that. Great for subscription systems. You have transfers, you can make payments to other people. You've got webhooks, apps, data, emails. You can send out emails to people on receipts and things like that. Just a very, very quick look through that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a little payment page using Stripe. And I'm going to use the Stripe checkout. This is the Stripe documentation. It's absolutely fantastic. Stripe support and Stripe documentation are both superb. And here I am. I'm going to use what's called the checkout. I'm just going to take the simple version of it. Here's the form. I'm going to copy it. You can note that that's my Stripe test API key right there, ready to roll already. Like, they've done such small, simple things that makes it really easy for people. You know, even when you're looking at the documentation, they put things into it that makes it easy and for you to work. Right. Okay, I'm not going to do anything glorious with this now. But if you want to follow along, that is, I'm not even going to bother with the HTML. So StudioForty9, that's nin.ie/stripe, and you'll find that. So that's my button that I've just put up right now. If I was to click that right now, what I get is this default Stripe checkout. So that's a Stripe checkout. I can enter an email address, I can enter a card number, the expiry date, the CVC, ask for it to be remembered everywhere. I'm just going to do a very quick and small amount of customization to that. So I'm going to call this Gerard's Biz. You're going to be paying for a license, and you're going to pay €20. I'm actually going to put an image up there as well. Let's see. All right. A little badge I prepared earlier. So when I pay by card or pay with card, this time I get a little bit more, slightly more customized. I mean, it's not enormous, but like it's okay. It's it's nice. I got my SF9 logo yoke in there. Gerard's Biz, paying for a license, and I enter in the details. A couple of nice things about this. I signed up for this earlier on, obviously, when I tried it out to make sure it was all going to be okay. And when I did that, I set up a test card with my credit card. So there is a verification code that just came through from Stripe, and I can enter that in 752170. It authorizes me one-click payment. I hit pay. I never took my credit card out of my wallet, and that's the job. That's it all done. Now I haven't created the charge page, which I'm going to do right now. But the thing there is that when it comes to mobile, it makes one-click payment absolutely simple, which is incredibly important for mobile nowadays. People are seeing up to 40% traffic. 40% of traffic coming to e-commerce sites are coming from mobile devices. The conversion rate for mobile devices is very, very small. It's about 20% conversion rate on a desktop device, or, excuse me, on a desktop. So one of the things that people are hoping will combat that problem is one-click payment, things like that, where you just enter your email address, you get a code into your phone, you enter in the verification code, and off you go. So that is the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a charge. So what's happened so far is I haven't actually been charged. It's verified my credit card details, or it's created a credit card customer account for me on Stripe, but it hasn't actually made any charge at this point. It's kind of, I have a token that I can charge. So what I need to do now is actually charge for that. So here is the documentation. The very, very next thing is that you need to set up a charge. I'm going to do that. Because I was worried about the internet connection here, I didn't actually bother downloading the library and uploading it. I have it already on there. You need to download the Stripe library, the API library, and I've taken it for PHP. So I'm going to create a charge page. This is the PHP code for taking a charge. Charge.php. Paste it in. Add in my. Okay, so what this does basically is it's taking the token that you create from the credit card, and it's effectively it's charging the credit card at that point. So you've kind of set up you've allowed this Gerard's Biz to take a credit card charge, and at that point you need to process it. So I'm just going to change a couple of things here. I'm going to add something into the description so I know who paid me. So I'm just going to add in, let's say, the email address. Okay, I'm going to add a little success message. And yeah, that's nearly it. I just have to point my the action of the form at the charge PHP, and that should be it. So go back, pay with card, enter my email address. Okay. Get the verification number. Pay my money. Get an error. Debug. What have I done wrong? Oh no. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one, haven't I? It's the problem with the ones you've created earlier. There is, yeah, that's the one. And so I never required the library in here. That should be it. Great success. Go back here, go into my dashboard, and hopefully there's a payment from Gerard StudioForty9. And this is basic. It's as simple as this. The only other thing I need to do if I wanted to really get money is to actually hook up my account, my Bank of Ireland account, and obviously a real credit card. There's my 20 euros, woo, up and to the right. Check the payments. There's the payment. I can hit refund or whatever at that point. There's a description, just the name of the person who put it in there. So you can go to this on your mobile phones if you wanted to. You can go into StudioForty9.ie/Stripe. You'll get the mobile phone version of it, like the mobile payments version of it. So if you typed in, I suppose, GerardStudioForty9.com, I'd probably get a whole bunch of text messages, I guess. And then it would, you click through, very, very easy payment. So that's signing. That's how you set up a single, simple charge on Stripe. The thing, I suppose that the thing that makes that Stripe was really used for, though, was for subscriptions. And so setting up a subscription and taking any other kind of payment is as simple as that. I mean, there's documentation all up and down the site. Copy and paste code if you want to. You can write your own integration with their API. The API is great. They've got webhooks. They've got all sorts of things. So that's all well and good, but it's not really the real reason. Well, I guess it's, I suppose, one of the reasons why Stripe is for developers. But I would say the real reason why Stripe is for developers is because in the past, if you were building yourself, you're building yourself some kind of web application, and you're hoping that you're going to make a fortune at 20 euros a month from everybody out there who's going to pay for your service. So you go away, you build your web application, you get to the end of the process, and then you realize, well, shit, I got to deal with billing. Now, a couple of years back, I was CTO for a project, and when we looked at billing, we didn't have very many options. The only option that we could really afford to use at all was some variation of PayPal. At the time, PayPal was only really available for subscription billing in the UK. What happened when you did subscription billing was people left your website, they went off to PayPal. You had no control over what happened in the PayPal side of things. They had to become a PayPal customer. They had to sign up for PayPal. There was a whole kind of backwards and forwards about, do you really want to subscribe? Yes, I do. And then you go back to the site, do you really want to subscribe? Yes, I do. And you never knew why people were abandoning when they didn't want to, you know. I mean, it's hard to get people to take out their wallets as it stands, and making it hard for them to pay, you know, is also a disaster. So PayPal also have some really weird rules around subscription billing. For example, you can't, if you have an upgrade plan for your subscription, so let's say you've got the silver plan and the gold plan and the platinum plan. Well, your gold plan and your platinum plan can't be any more than 20% more expensive than your silver plan, and vice versa. So imagine if you wanted to go from 10 euros a month to 20 euros a month, you couldn't do that. You had to go from 10 euros a month, and then you could go up to 12 euros a month, and then you could go up to 14 something or whatever it was. So it would take you, obviously it would take quite a while for you to get real money out of people. So there's some weird things about PayPal like that. What Stripe did was, Stripe came along and made subscriptions really, really easy. You set up your plan, you changed it as often as you wanted to. You could get your customers paying. So that's Stripe with subscriptions. If you wanted to, with subscriptions, you could give customers a free trial. You could set up, you could give them coupons. You can do pro rata billing. So when the payment is being made and you've finally convinced your customer, because this is exactly what you want to do, you want to convince them to move from the silver plan up to the golden plan or the platinum plan. Well, if they do that halfway through the billing cycle, in previous days you had to figure out, well, how many days they've had been on for 11 days and it's a 31-day month and you're doing all of this kind of crap. Forget about it. PayPal or Stripe will take care of all of that for you. All you say is they're going up to the next plan up. Stripe figure out how much they need to be charged now or how much of a refund they need to get if they're downgrading or any of that kind of stuff. All taken care of for you. All you're doing is you're figuring out your widget web application. Metered billing, again, if you wanted to do something like like O2 does, where basically you charge 100 euros a month, and then if somebody goes roaming in Spain and ends up spending 100 euros on 1 megabyte of data, you can charge them for overage. So you have a token that stores the customer's credit card details, and you can bill that credit card as often as you like. So you can charge for overage, you can charge for 2 subscriptions if you want to. Well, obviously anything that your customer will allow you to charge for. You've got one-click payment, which is quite cool. You've got dunning management, which I don't know why it always sounds like a dirty word to me, but I keep thinking of cunning stunt. Did I say that right? I did. So dunning management basically is where the credit card failures are managed in some fashion. Stripe is fairly basic at dunning management. What it does is if a credit card is maxed out and the transaction fails, you can set it to try again in 2 days' time and 3 days after that and 4 days after that if you want. So that's some amount of dunning management. In the good old days, if you integrated with a system and the transaction failed, you had to go away and write another little bit of a service to go and to try the transaction again a couple of days later. So what Stripe doesn't really manage incredibly well is the communications for dunning management. So what it doesn't do is it doesn't email your customer to say, oh, has your credit card maxed out? We've tried to charge you and nothing happened. If your credit card is expired, if the customer's credit card is expired, it doesn't send it like a kind of a pre-expiry notice or anything like that. So it doesn't do that stuff. But because Stripe is such a great API, there's a whole load of people who've written almost anything you can imagine for it. And one of those things is a dunning management system that will send out the emails on your behalf. Webhooks, so you can pretty much automate whatever you like based on any of the events in Stripe. So let's say it's the first time somebody signs up for a particular thing. You can fire off an event that, or an event can be fired off that sends them out a pack or sends them out a license or whatever it is that you want to do. And then Stripe Connect, and what Stripe Connect does is it deals with payments for marketplaces. So that's a situation where you are going to, let's say you're facilitating work between labor or something like this. So somebody goes on your website, and your website is all about guaranteeing that the labor is quite good quality. So as part of your guarantee, you act as an escrow service of sorts, or you take payment on behalf of the person. You want to take a commission on that. So the labourer wants to get their fee. You want to get your commission. It's effectively 2 payments. In an ordinary day world, that's a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with as well. And what Stripe Connect does is it can take in one credit card charge authorization, and it can send the money in various different ways, whatever way you want it to send. That Stripe Connect is quite good. Again, what Stripe doesn't do here, though, is it doesn't act as a proper escrow service. So what that means is that if you wanted to kind of guarantee the work and you held the money until such time as that labourer had done the job, and the person who is your customer has said, yeah, the labourer has done the job, I'm happy with that, the money is then sent off to the labourer's account. It won't do that. The money has to be sent immediately. What you can do is you can kind of hack your way around it, and you can send the money. You can take payments up to 7 days later, so you get what's called delayed capture. So you can capture the money later on. But the problem with doing it that way is that you haven't captured the money at the start. So, you know, if you're looking at like some 99 Designs, I don't know if you know 99 Designs, or these kinds of like Odesk or any of these Elance or any of these kinds of systems, that's how they operate. They take the money, put it in escrow, wait until the job is done, and then send the money on minus their commission. So Stripe doesn't really work that way, but it gets some distance towards that. And then alternatives. So alternatives to Stripe, we covered PayPal. PayPal is fine, but it's, you know, you've very little control. It's not really an elegant solution, and you know, developers like elegance. Integrating with the API can be a bit of a bitch, but PayPal is fast trying to catch up with Stripe. I don't know if anybody ever saw the tweet that you know, Simon or Patrick Collison sent out, which was Stripe is looking for new employees. If you want to influence how PayPal does things in the future, apply to Stripe. So they're trying to catch up. They're doing a lot. Balanced. The main thing that Balanced does that Stripe doesn't do is it does the escrow part. So you can put the money into escrow. You can hold on to it, and when the job is finished, you can send it whatever way it needs to be done. Braintree is the subscription system that ran 37 Signals uses, for example. So it's an oldie but a goodie. I think Braintree is now owned by PayPal actually, and it's been around for a long time. In the good old days, 2 years ago, you would have had to use maybe something like Braintree or Spreedly or Sassly, and there's a whole bunch of these Lees as well. A couple of different alternatives. And what they did was they would hook in with your payment gateway. You would still need an internet merchant account, which means you'd have to go to the bank and get down on your knees and ask them with a business plan for an internet merchant account. Then you would need a payment gateway. So the internet merchant account and the payment gateway would cost you €60 a month. Then you needed Braintree or something like it, which would manage the subscription part of things, but not the payment gateway and not the other part. And then finally, you would have your application, which figured out how to figure out which integrated with Braintree. I've come across blog posts which said that the integration with Braintree could take up to 4 months. Now you've seen me integrate with Sprint or with Stripe, so that was 4 months worth of Braintree right there. But you know, those were good, and Braintree is really catching up as well. So that's a very good alternative if you want to look at it. And I think they're trying to compete on pricing is what they're trying to do now. And Paymill it was built by those, you know, Rockus they're called, and basically I can't remember the names of the brothers. There's 3 of them, and what they do is they did City Deal, so copied Groupon. They did Wimdu copying Airbnb, and they built Paymill copying Stripe. So they copied exactly what Stripe did, but it feels flimsy. You know, you're getting an inferior product, and Stripe was built by Irish guys. So I suggest you go with them. Thank you.